guys, Becky here with Design Bundles, and I'm super excited to have you join me today as we have a really awesome project with our Cricut Joy. We are making custom stemless wine glasses. Alright guys, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and I'm super excited to walk you through just how easy it is with these designs that I've purchased. Now, I say purchased, I got them. It feels like I got them for free. I know they're not really free, but I got them with my Plus membership for Design Bundles. So, I pay a little fee every month and I get to choose 50 designs. So it just feels really good. Feels good on my pocketbook and on my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and go to upload image and browse. Now I have already unzipped these files. See how they come zipped? So to unzip a file, you're just going to right click and you can choose extract all. Now, I've already taken care of that for you. So let's go ahead. We're going to go to the bring your own and locate the SVG format. And then I don't have to make any modifications. So I'm just going to choose upload and it'll be right there. Now we're doing 2 wine glasses today. So I'm going to bring in another file and we're going to do the don't drink and fly. So I'm going to locate the SVG, bring it in also. And now they're both right here in my recent uploads. So I can click on them both. Watch how easy this is. Just choose insert and they will literally both come into the cutting mat together. So very little back and forth going on there once I have them uploaded. Now I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I've already measured the wine glasses that we're using and I'll show you how to do that. But I've measured them and I know that I need my designs to be no larger than 3 by 3. Okay, so I'm going to click on my very first image here. I'm going to find my largest dimension, which is this 13.6. I'm going to delete it out, type 3 and hit enter. Now it looks like it grabbed them together. So let's size them individually now. It's really trying me today, but that's okay. We're going to go to my largest dimension and type in 3. So now I know that it will be 3 inches tall and less than 3 inches wide. That's a win-win. So now let's do the don't drink and fly. Again, I'm going to find my largest dimension, type in 3 and hit enter. So these are sized appropriately. Now the next thing I'm going to do, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, I am going to ungroup these designs and I'm going to make some changes because 3 inches is still pretty small. And while these designs would probably cut okay, you have to consider that when you're applying small details in adhesive vinyl, that they have very little adhesive to hold them on. So they're more likely to peel or come off. So I like to minimize that when I can. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose these little wine glasses. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. I don't actually need them for the design. And while they're really cute for a larger design, I'm just going to make it easier on myself. Then I am going to free rotate my broom. And I'm just going to fit it right there. Maybe a little more. There we go. Okay, so I like the look of that better. So I'm going to select everything and I'm going to choose weld because my K and my broom overlap. So I need them to be welded together. Now another thing I'm going to do, see how it has these little slits in my broom? Those, even if they cut well, they're not going to make a big difference in my design. So I'm just going to get rid of them altogether. So I'm going to click on that and choose contour. So while this is a beginner project, hopefully you guys are seeing a little bit of the very small modifications that you can make when you're working with an existing file, okay? Now let's go ahead and let it load. And I just want to click on these areas and get rid of them. So by clicking on them, it's going to deselect them. And of course, if you have a problem doing that, you can come over here to the right-hand side and locate them this way as well. Sometimes this is easier. And you want to click on them so that they are darker gray, all right? So let's exit out, and now they're gone. So now I have my file, and I consider that one ready to cut. I'm going to do something similar here. Now let's go ahead and weld it together. Now there was nothing overlapping here, but welding it together just kind of solidifies it. So if I click on it and choose contour, what I want to hide on this one are the little slits in the ghost. Again, super duper cute on a file that is going to be larger in size, but for a smaller file, I just feel like even if it cuts well, it's not going to make that big of a difference. So I'm just going to eliminate them altogether. So same thing, you can just click on these lines, and there are 2 down here at the bottom as well. And if that doesn't work out for you, you can come find them over here on the right hand side and just click on them and turn them the darker shade of gray as well. So once that's done, that's all I needed to do. So now we have our finished cut files. Now I'm using 2 different colors of vinyl. I'm using a mint and a purple. So I'm just going to choose green, and then for this one I'll choose purple. Okay, now the reason I went in and switched them to make them different colors is when I click over to make it, and of course I'm using my little Cricut Joy. I sure love this little thing. I am going to cut without a mat. We'll talk more about that in a minute. So I'm going to choose done, and this is what I have to look at. So it broke it down into 2 separate cuts. That way I can load 2 different colors of vinyl. So this first one, without a mat, it'll tell me that my material needs to be at least 5.5 by 4.5. Not a problem. I have a scrap already cut. Just make sure that it is 5.5 inches wide, and you can cut any brand of adhesive vinyl on your Cricut Joy. It doesn't have to be the Smart Vinyl. Same thing down here. If I go down to the purple without a mat, 5.5 and 4.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and click continue because those look perfect just the way that they are. My software is going to connect to my Joy, so make sure it's plugged in and turned on. And then I'm going to choose vinyl, and I know it says Smart Vinyl. Let's go back. It says Smart Vinyl Permanent, but those settings work just as well. I'm using Oracle 651. They work great. So now all I have to do is go over to the machine, load my first color of vinyl, which will be my mint, allow it to cut, and then load in the second color. Now in between, I will have to come back to the software and choose go and unload, but it's a really, really simple process. So let's go ahead and head on over to the work area and we'll see what that looks like. All right, guys, so let's take a look at what we have. First of all, I'm cutting with my cute little Cricut Joy. I love using it for these small projects. So I have 2 pieces of adhesive vinyl. These are cut to 5.5, so I can cut them without a mat. These are 2 stemless wine glasses. All right, love them. And they are from the Dollar Tree. A lot of dollar stores will have simple glassware items like this. I have a roll of painter's tape. It doesn't have to be painter's tape. Any tape roll will do, and you'll see why. Scissors, weeding tweezers, a ruler, a squeegee, and some transfer tape. So let's talk about our ruler first. What you want to do, and this is to be able to measure out your design. And here's our hidden tool. That roll will hold my wine glass for me. All right, absolutely love that. And I can measure out. All right, so I want my design to be roughly 3 by 3, which works out great. And that's obviously going to be the same on each one. So then when you're ready to cut, because naturally we already have set up the file in Cricut Design Space, then I can just go ahead and get ready to load this. And I can walk over and press send on the first file. So once the first one is done, then we will just load the next piece. And walk over and press go again. Of course, we unload the second one. So now let's move this baby out of the way. And then of course we can trim around our design. Now all we need is a little bit of transfer tape. And start weeding. So I'm just going to start in the top corner and pull my vinyl back. And I do want to pull slowly with this being a smaller design because I don't want to lose any of my details if I can help it. This file has some small pieces that really help make it look very unique, and I really like it a lot. So go ahead and grab the inside of your letters. And move on to the next one. We're going to do the same thing here. Just grab a corner And slowly peel it back. All right, now that we've got that boring old weeding out of the way, let's talk about applying these decals to our wonderful wine glasses. So the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and peel off the transfer tape from the backing. Ta-da! And apply it to my design. Now there's no real rhyme or reason as far as applying your transfer tape as long as it's all covered. And then I can trim off the extra because I don't actually need it. And repeat. It's really quick and easy when you can do 2 of these at one time. Or more. These are really easy to just do in bulk. Now, normally I would have reused the same piece of transfer tape, but I'm going to show you a little trick that helps when you apply to curved surfaces. What I'm going to do is just give myself small relief cuts, and I'm going to be careful not to cut into my design, okay? But I want to give myself relief cuts so that I can more or less be able to be more flexible as I'm applying the design to the wine glass or any curved surface. Now repeat on the other side, and I'll do this for both projects. All right, so once that's done, let's get our magic tool here and pick out either of the wine glasses. Now, if your wine glass is dirty, then you can go ahead and clean it, but if possible, try to clean it with just water. If not, maybe something like alcohol will work, but do not use any type of cleaning product because that can actually leave a residue that will affect the adhesive properties of your vinyl. All right, so slowly remove the backing from your design, from your decal. It's a little harder with those relief cuts, but totally worth it. Now what we're gonna do is position on the top half of the glass because the curve gets more pronounced at the bottom. So the top is where we want to be. What I'm gonna do is allow the middle to touch down first. I always do that. Okay, and then with my fingers, I'm gonna work down the middle on each side. There and there, and then slowly start to push down the rest of my design. Okay, now if you have an area that looks like it's going to wrinkle or crease, then go ahead and stop right away. We don't want to cause any creases, and I'm going to show you how you fix that. Okay, but for now, just smooth down all the pieces of your design, and hopefully those relief cuts are helping you out. All right, now work with it slowly because if you have any of those areas that didn't stick down, you don't want to catch them and rip, okay? Your vinyl can rip or it can stretch out. Here's one of those areas, the edge of my broom there. Because we can smooth those out by hand. So even if it's already adhered, as long as you haven't really, I don't want to say forced, but as long as you haven't really pressed it down into the glass, you can easily take a pair of tweezers, pull up any part that's stuck, and then press down again. There we go. There is one glass. Super cute. Let's go ahead and do our next one. So once again, I'm just going to pull the back away from my design. And you might just have to work your way around. It is a little bit more difficult with those relief cuts already in there, but not a big deal at all. All right, and we're going to practice the same thing on our next glass. All right, so higher rather than lower, and let your middle touch down first. Okay, so I'm going to smooth top to bottom. Now, in this case, it's going to be a little bit different because I have a large ghost here. So once I do top to bottom, I'm going to focus on that ghost and smooth it down first because we don't want any wrinkles or creases in the ghost. But the rest of it, you can just smooth down piece by piece. Now, because this is a curved surface, if you're working with something like a long name that you're trying to put on here, you'll see that even if you cut it straight, it's going to curve based on the shape of your glass. And that's okay. I'll be honest with you, I don't worry about that in my own crafting. It's just not high on my priority list, I guess. But for some people, it really bothers them. So just something to keep an eye out for. All right, so like I have let's see if I can show you here. Do you see where it's not laying flat here? So I don't want to force that down. I'm going to leave that as it is and then go ahead and start peeling up the transfer tape. Okay, so I want to be careful and just make sure that I don't rip or stretch out my vinyl. There we go. So then I can take my tweezers and just pull up the part around it and then smooth it out either with my tweezers or my hand or even a scraper or squeegee. So there we go. Now let's look at them together. Move my little holder out of the way. There are my two, there we go. There are my two new wine glasses. And of course, I think they are super cute. And then of course you're gonna say, well, Becky, that's a lot of room at the bottom, but I promise once you get a little bit of wine in there, these look fantastic. So definitely super proud. And don't forget, these actually make pretty good little gifts to give out. If you're doing like you're going maybe to a party, you can take these as like a hostess gift. You can pair these up with a nice bottle of wine. You can even, there are crafts out there where you get the little miniature bottles of wine, tuck it in there with a little bit of crinkle paper and some ribbon. Super cute. I really love it a lot. So these are my two wine glasses for today. And with my little Cricut Joy, you saw just how easy they were to use. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So guys, how did you feel about our custom stemless wine glasses? Now, I think they are really cute, obviously, and I think they're really easy. This is one of the easiest and, can I say, cheapest crafts that you can do, and it makes a great gift. I mean, anybody who loves wine would love getting one of these cute glasses. And they're so inexpensive. I mean, you're talking like $1.25. And you could make these not only sets for all your friends, but you could make them part of your seasonal decor. These actually make really good candle holders. They make just a lot of things that you can do with these stemless wine glasses. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. You guys know I love hearing from you. I love all the support that you show for us here. And I love bringing you these videos, and hopefully you enjoy them too. So I'm gonna wrap it up for today, but thanks for stopping by, guys. I do really appreciate it. We'll see you again next time.